Alright, we are on the play in match 2 of this league. We are in match 2. This hand looks nice. We are going to go turn 1 Tarmogoyf. Turn 1 Tarmogoyf. If we could go turn 1 Tarmogoyf, I would be a happy person. We're going to go turn 1 Serum Visions, turn 2 Tarmogoyf. I guess Simian Spirit Guide Tarmogoyf? Maybe, if you're so inclined. We're going to grab ourselves a Steam Vents. I guess we could get a basic island and then Stomping Ground, but I don't know. I'm in the mood for taking some damage. We can shuffle stuff away, so I believe we're going to leave Roast just underneath Bauble. More likely that we want Mishra's Bauble. Did I open Exile instead of Graveyard? Is that what I did? That's what I did. Alright, that's fine. I guess we have to give up casting Tarmogoyf if we want to draw that Roast, but having the option is nice, and it's much more likely that we want the Mishra's Bauble. Now, Mox Opal, Inkmoth Nexus, Screams Affinity, Springleaf Drum makes it a little more obvious. The opponent doesn't have this Mox Opal online just yet, so we can probably assume that they're only going to have access to 2 mana next turn, unless they drop a Memnite or something to use with the Springleaf Drum, but that means they have to draw it, because if they had Meta Knight, they probably would have played it. Although maybe they're trying to save it from removal. Then again, that would have given them 2 more mana for this turn, and they have 5 cards in hand. If Affinity has 5 cards, and they had access to 2 mana, they probably would have used it. We're going to put down this Mishra's Bauble, play out the fetch land. I'm just thinking, they don't have that much mana available. So I kind of want to hold up Stubborn Denial to hit a Cranial Plating next turn. On the other hand, I'm also thinking maybe we don't bother with that and we just slam Tarmogoyf. So I think I'm going to go with that route. We're going to crack that Bauble soon enough. Blinkmoth, sure. If this is a Cranial Plating, I'll be a little sad that I didn't hold up Denial, but getting the Goyf down definitely speeds up our clock. What do we got, opponent? Just a Steel Overseer. That would be just fantastic. Signal Pest, pretty good. With more stuff, definitely good. Etched Champion. Okay, that's fine. That is just fine. Let's look at what they're going to draw. It is a Darksteel Citadel. That's not that scary. They still have 3 cards, though, which is quite a lot. Slow start out of Affinity. Mana Leak is not going to be good at this point. Third land, actually quite nice, though, because now we have Leak plus Bolt, which might actually be fantastic. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts, so we cannot push Goyf past this Etched Champion. That means we're going to be slamming a Mandrills pretty soon. How are we going to go about this? Even if we bolt Signal Pest, Etched Champion is fine because of these 2 artifacts, so we're not going to bother swinging with the Tarmogoyf. I would like to get Mandrills down, hold up some mana, and have more options. I think we're going to grab just a basic island here. Forest isn't very good. No, Forest is not very good. I'm going to go with basic island. I want to cast this. We're going to get rid of that Bauble because we're going to put a creature in the graveyard. An artifact in the graveyard very easily. Dump the lands. Sorcery is going to be a lot harder to deal with, but I would like to leave the Steam Vents untapped. So we're going to tap that way. If we need to Denial, we can Denial. If we want to cast Lightning Bolt, we can do that instead. There's the Darksteel Citadel we knew about. Here comes Cranial Plating, and we probably just have to counter that. I'm going to be really sad if they have a... I am totally failing on remembering what its name is. 1 red, does 4 damage because they have Metalcraft. Affinity's Burn Spell of choice. If they use it to take out Mandrills there, we no longer have Ferocious. They tap either the Inkmoth or one of these creatures with the Springleaf Drum, and they get to pay for Stubborn Denial, and then we're in a very bad spot, we're not going to block. That's just fine. We are going to race. I don't know if we can win. Probably not. They have 20 life, we have 10. Affinity's pretty fast. We probably don't bother casting Mana Leak anytime soon. Going with Visions and Bolt seems quite nice. I would very much like to get rid of their lifelinker, so we're probably going to cast Serum Visions and then Bolt this. That puts a 4th card type in the bin. We get to crack in for 8. They are going to respond with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because Inkmoth is Infect and we don't care about that. That's probably not a winning line. Sorcery adds to the bin, so Goyf is going to be good. Okay. Snapcaster Mage. We might actually have a chance. We're going to kill this. Crack in for 9. And then we have Snap Bolt available. Or are we better off holding up Echoing Truth? We can bounce both of these Signal Pests. They're not going to block with Vault Scourge. They'll likely swing with Vault Scourge. How good is bouncing the Signal Pests? It makes that Snapcaster Mage a lot worse. Maybe we just swing with both and snap and just Bolt Face, but then Vault Scourge is going to gain them a bunch of life, and that's not a good line. Also, we die due to them having the extra damage, so I do believe we need to kill this. That or we deal with the Signal Pests so that they can't get the Battle Cry triggers. If we decide to bounce these, we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, but they're going to have blockers. I think I might be okay with that. I don't think we win the race, so I'm going to try to extend the game just a little bit. We are playing into Spell Pierce here by not dealing with the Signal Pests proactively. So it's possible we should be doing that. We can counter that Etch Champion. If I counter that, they're going to gain 3, which is notable. Otherwise, they just get to gain 1. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 off of this and another 1. We take 9. Or we let them have their good blocker. They also get to use Blink Moth, but they can't do both if they swing with all of these, because they'll have to tap the new champion if they want to use the Springleaf Drum. Which means they're going to have 1 blocker if they swing with the team. I'm going to let that resolve. I think we just want to bounce the Signal Pests. Maybe I should have just killed this and gotten the extra point of damage in, untap Snap Bolt. I'm not sure. I'm a little wary of them being able to leave up 1 blocker to chump Goyf, then they just take 4. They would be at 11 right now. They take another 4, that puts them to 7. Bolt doesn't do all that much. Maybe we can squeeze out 1 more turn to get Snap Bolt online. Not sure how we survive another turn. We bounce the Signal Pests. We probably bolt the Vault Scourge soon enough. We want to do this now so that they don't get to declare attackers. Get rid of those Signal Pests. At least temporarily. They're going to come back, which means Goyf gets chumped for sure. Mandrills is good for 2 damage, even if it gets blocked by one of these champions. If they leave both back, we're in worse shape. We'll take 7. They gain 1. Sorry, we take 3, go to 7. I don't think we can navigate out of this, but they're going to put the other Signal Pest back down. Yeah, that was a very temporary measure. Okay. We're dead. We're dead because of the Etch Champions and the Signal Pests. We can bolt one of these. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 because we can't deal with that in the air. I think we're just going to scoop. We could just let them attack, but I don't think that's really worth it. Just waiting for them to find the obvious line to kill us. I don't think they're going to miss that. Artifact Hate, Sweepers, some life gain. Huntmaster is kind of life gain. Also, not quite a sweeper, but it's in that vein. I think... Do I want Deprive? No. Okay. I'm kind of iffy on Deprive in this matchup. I don't love counters because of how quickly their stuff gets down. but it's another answer to cranial plating. So we're going to bring in those 9. I believe it's just the 9 we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I missed something. Rejection. Hiding there with the blue cards. I don't love counters here, but that's a really good one. Take out a Mandrills. What else? Nux. Kind of slow. Not really that good here. Blocks. Not that well. Doesn't even attack that well, I wouldn't say, because of all the chump blockers they have. Thought Scour is going to go because we are going to interact a lot. If we try to race them with Thought Scour fueling our engine, we're probably just going to die. And we're going to cut some of those counters that I said I don't like that much. Ceremonious Rejection, not quite strictly better than Denial and Leak, but it's kind of close. Our opponent forgives us for forgetting to wish them luck as well. This hand's not great. It's really not great. We're pretty much locked into going turn 1 Visions, and after that we don't necessarily have much. This is awesome, in comparison at least. Can't say it's fantastic. Definitely don't want that 4th land right away. But I am pretty stoked for turn 1 threat, ability to interact, and ability to play turn 2 threat. Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, good stuff. Playing around, double Gutshot. Affinity generally plays the creature after Springleaf Drum so that you can't kill the creature with the drum on the stack. It's just good sequencing. We didn't really have anything up, but still. Destructive Revelry, yeah, we'll show that off. Alright, are we going to race or kill this Ornithopter? We're probably going to race. That's a very small Tarmogoyf. On the bright side, they have to waste a removal spell on it if they want to deal with it, because we're not putting the 0-1 into the red zone. What is that spell? How can I not remember this? Affinity. Okay, so when you Google Affinity, the definition comes up instead of the deck, which is just very, very wrong. What do we got? Galvanic Blast. Made it. Alright, we're good. Ooh, Hope of Girapur. That's a fun one. That is a very fun one. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I don't remember if I've played against it in Affinity before. I think so. I've definitely played against it somewhere. We probably want to play out this Misty because Island does not help with casting Tarfire plus Revelry. We can probably blow them out. I kind of want to do it mid-combat as well. What are the chances that they blow us out instead? They're tapped out, so that's good. They can sack a few artifacts for Ravager. We definitely want to lead on the Tarfire. That's an easy one. That is a very easy one. I believe we're going to swing because we can put at least one card type in the bin, which means they either chump Goyf with the Ornithopter or they have to use the Ravager. So I do like getting in the red zone here before we start pulling the trigger on anything. I'm a little sad that we're going to have to fetch shock. Actually, yes, we need 2 red sources. I was thinking we just grab a basic forest and we're A-okay. That's not the case. So they didn't do anything. I think we're going to Tarfire the Hope of Girapur. They know about Revelry, so they're probably just going to sack it and put the counter on the Ravager. That's the smart play. If they try to go in on the Hope, we're just going to kill them, or rather kill it. So I think they're just going to sack this, put the counter on Ravager. If they end up trying to put the counters on Ornithopter so that they can block, they know that's not going to go well. So this looks quite safe. And, you know, if we can put Tarfire, instant, artifact, and creature in the card type, for that Tarmogoyf, I'm okay with it. Now, we have the option here to take out the Ravager and have them put the counters on the Ornithopter, but that doesn't seem fantastic. I'm just going to let them go to their turn. They can't do that much damage on this board. Then again, they have a lot of cards, so this could be a very big turn. It's possible we want to take out the Ravager before they have the chance to put down an Etch Champion, which means we probably just kill this. They end up putting the counters on Ornithopter. That's a lot better than them being on this. Etch Champion basically has Super Flying. Super Flying, a lot better than regular flying. Unfortunately, Revelry's going to fizzle, but that's probably okay. Also unfortunate that Ornithopter blocks Aberration very well at this point. That changes things somewhat. We swing with Goyf, they block with Etch Champion, so that's not really a winning line. We can trade Aberration and Bolt for Ornithopter. Really wish we had that Bolt the turn before. Then again, we used all our mana, so that doesn't really help. I'm glad that we got rid of the Ravager before Etch Champion came down, so that's good. I don't think we attack here. Neither of our attacks are good, so we're just going to wait. We don't exactly have good blocks either, but still. We may as well have our creatures untapped. Darksteel Citadel just going to make it harder for us to deal with that champion. And plating is going to be a pretty big deal. That's probably going to swing this game. Cranial Plating, probably Affinity's best card. Arcbound Ravager is very good against spot removal, but you know what? With all the Blinkmoth Nexi, Inkmoth Nexi, artifact lands, non-creature artifacts, and just all the creature artifacts as well, or artifact creatures, I guess, Affinity probably is still going to have plenty of artifacts left to power up that Cranial Plating, even if you remove a bunch of creatures. Yup. We're going to take 7. No. Alright, defensive play. That's not what we needed to see. Trading Aberration and Ornithopter seems like a very trading Aberration and Bolt for Ornithopter seems very, very bad, so I think we're just stuck in a stalemate here. Now, unfortunately, now that the opponent has more mana available because this is already resolved, they're going to be able to attack and equip it to another creature so that they can have a very large creature to block with as well as attack with. Don't think we have much of a reason to play a land. Maybe we want to go Huntmaster plus Bolt next turn. I actually could get behind that, so I think I'm going to drop this Wooded Foothills, just in case we do draw something like Huntmaster. That'll help. Huntmaster will help. Gain some life. Clogging up the board doesn't do that much, because they have a lot of manlands they could use. That's definitely something we're going to Bolt. That is an easy decision. Let's just take care of that Vault Scourge before damage comes in so that we save 1 life. Etch Champion is pretty much big enough that this doesn't matter, but still. They want to be able to animate. Oh, does that help me? Not really. No, I don't think it does. We can trade Aberration for Ornithopter or a Blinkmoth. Etch Champion is going to laugh quite a bit at our Anger of the Gods. And then we're going to die because we can't block it. We're just going to pass the turn and accept our fate. We could attack. They might just take the 3. We could have 2 bolts in hand. Or Bolt and Snapcaster Mage, so they probably block the Aberration with something. Not that it really matters, though. Arcbound Ravager, sure. Yep. Let's go to combat. Etched Champion is a very good card against mid-range decks, which we kind of are at this point. Very difficult to deal with in combat and with removal spells. We are dead. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.